Hello, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to another Mac Oddware video. This video is going to be one of two parts. The other part's going to be in the PowerPC series, and it's got similar product in it. I don't have those yet. So this just came in the mail today. I thought I'd film it. Today we'll be introducing you to the BookEndz BE MBP115F. This is a dock for a MacBook Pro, the non-unibody 15-inch MacBook Pro. And BookEndz right here, this company was around from around 2001 to somewhere around 2014 or 15-ish. Their website, if you look it up on archive.com, I'll put a link in the description. If you look at their website, around late 2015, early 2016, they put a post up saying that they were no longer going to make docks, and now their posts, their whole website's down. It's gone. The company is gone with it. And this company specialized in Mac notebook docks. And I've got 3 examples. 2 are coming in the mail. But this is the first one that came in the mail, and of course it doesn't fit in the PowerPC series because it's for an Intel MacBook. So we'll be using this in today's video, showing you everything about it. It's very interesting. I'll be explaining to you what the purpose was of it and showing it off and demonstrating it. There is one little design flaw with it that we will be addressing, but other than that, it was actually pretty neat. And they made docks for the, I think, 1400C PowerBook or something like that. I think that's the right model number, all the way through the non-Retina unibodies. They were designing Retina docks, but they never came out as far as I know. They just stopped developing them and said that they were going to come, and they never did. So BookEndz died with the unibody MacBook Pros, the non-Retina ones. And their last version of the dock, which was identical to the version before that, included USB 3. The one before that didn't, but they were backwards compatible and frontwards compatible, I guess. And I might get one of those one day if I can find one. Just found out about this company a few days ago, and got a number of examples to show you guys. I will actually be using this dock on my non-unibody here, probably for good, because the non-unibody's battery's kind of, it lasts about an hour. It's not really a daily user kind of thing, but it's a good desktop kind of setup. And once I get around that one design flaw, which I have coming in the mail now, it should be pretty cool. So let's show you what this dock can do. Okay, so let's say hello to the BookEndz dock. I'd tell you the model number again, but it's a very long, non-user friendly kind of model number. I'll show it to you right there. That's the model number. This company made some really high quality stuff. When this dock came out in 2007-ish, maybe 2006, I was looking on their 2008 version of their website. It was selling for, I think it was $3.99. It might have been $2.99. I'll correct it in the post, but it wasn't a very expensive dock, and I actually got this thing for 12 bucks on eBay. And it's really high quality. It's a quite incredible design here. Now, the whole point of a BookEndz dock was to add extra ports and to have everything feeding out to the back. As far as I can tell, all their docks meant for the ports to come out the back, as we can see here. And it was pretty popular back in the time when these things were starting to be made. Desktop replacements and stuff. Most of those docks had all their ports in the back. And Dell laptops, for instance. I had a Dell laptop from the early 2000s, Dell, what was it? Inspiron, and I also had a Latitude or something like that. I can't remember the names offhand. I had a black Dell dock that had a special dock adapter that you just slide it into, and it made it basically a desktop. And this was for the same concept. And this was to declutter your desk. Declutter it and make it more manageable, so you didn't have wires jetting out the side of the MacBook or iBook or PowerBook or whatever you had at the time. And this was pretty neat. You know, PC manufacturers had docks with special dock connector ports in them. Apple notebooks never really did. And this kind of tried to make a solution for it, and it would fill all the ports for the MacBook. I'll show you. You know, we've got the ports on the side here and the ports over there, you know, and it would make your side ports into back ports and also add extra ports. Now, as we can see here, we've got male versions of the plugs to go into the female ports. You know, we've got DVI-I, Ethernet, Gigabit Ethernet, Firewire 800, 400, and USB 2. And then on the other side, we've got another USB 2 audio in, and then this jack right here was on a switch, and it would pop in and out. And this is so you could turn the internal speakers on and off and use the internal speakers as a headphone speaker jack in the back. We'll show you that in a second. But if we notice right here, there is one pretty big design flaw. When this came out, the T MagSafes were out. The L-shaped ones didn't exist yet. And I think Apple eventually went back to the T MagSafes, but the L-shapes are the just don't work with this. What you're supposed to do is feed the MagSafe through here, like so, and then I can't even feed it through. You're supposed to feed it through like so, like that, and that's supposed to clip magnetically into it. So you're supposed to leave a little bit of slack right here, so when you close the hinge, it should just snap right into the MagSafe port. But if you notice, this just doesn't fit. There's no way to plug an L shape in. I don't have any T's yet, but I just ordered one off of eBay used. I hope it works. And then I'll be able to use this dock. I'll just leave that MagSafe plugged into the dock. But this dock was pretty darn cool. You would just literally open it up like this. Then you take your MacBook, PowerBook, iBook, whatever, set it on there. Make sure the holes on the ports are lined up like that. And sorry for my charge cable there. Okay. And then you just, here, let me see if I can hold this. So I apologize for that abrupt cut there. I kind of dropped the camera. I don't have my tripod, it's broken. So I can't hold this and show you it clip in very well. But you've got the ports lined up here, so when you start closing it, it should just go into the ports on the notebook. Like so. It's hard to do it with one hand. It's supposed to do it smoothly. It's not doing it smoothly. You're supposed to use both hands to clip it in, which I can't do right now. But anyway, that's what it looks like when it's installed. And of course you'd have the MagSafe plugged in there, which I don't have currently. But you know, you could open up the notebook here, and you'd have all these ports here. Sorry about that, I forgot that light was on. But you'd have all these ports here and all these extensions and stuff, and it would all feed out the back. So now we're going to flip around the system. Let's close this. Let's flip around the system and show you the ports in the back. Here we have a USB 2 jack, FireWire 400, FireWire 800, Gigabit Ethernet, DVI-I, VGA, 2 RCA jacks for left and right speakers, so you could plug up like monitor speakers or something, another USB 2, audio in, and headphone out or speaker out. And that's what the dock did there. Pretty neat design, added a lot of functionality, and when you needed to take the laptop out, you just pull this and the ports would come out, then you could just lift it out. Pretty neat. Now this handle was not meant to close it. That would probably break something, and that's why there's a warning on it. So you're supposed to grab both ends and just shove it together. And that's the dock there. So what we're going to do now is set this up like it would be on a desktop and quickly show you what it would be like to use that way. So let's get going. Okay, so let's pretend you're walking up into your office or something and you're bringing in your notebook and you want to hook it up. And say you have your speakers set up to this dock, your keyboard, your mouse, an extra monitor, or even your main monitor if you had the MagSafe, so you could just put it in clamshell mode. Of course, I don't have a MagSafe, so I don't think that would work. But anyway, let's say this is your secondary monitor and you want it all hooked up. Well, this is an old VGA monitor and it's hooked up to the back. We've got the speakers and the keyboard plugged into the back, and the only thing we got to do is take our Mac notebook, line it up on the bottoms here like so, and then close it together. And I'm going to do that off camera because I can't do it with one hand again. 1 second. Okay, so you have it all closed together and it's all hooked up, plugged in, and ready to rock. So let's say you want to use your speakers. Just flip this switch over and now you got the speakers enabled, and we can open up the clamshell. And here we go. It's gotten the secondary display hooked up instantly, and we can start shutting down the computer because this keyboard's messed up and the power button sticks. Cancel. Okay. So anyway, so we've got the secondary display here, and let's switch this over to not the primary real quick, because this is kind of annoying over here when I want to be over here. But let's do arrangement. It's got the right arrangement, so we'll just change this over, and presto, here we go. So now, as we can see, we're using the mouse and keyboard here, and it's working. I don't know how the sound is on here. Yeah, and it's using the external speakers, which is neat. So we can just, you know, and it works. And if you want to go back to the internal, let's turn this down because I use headphones in this jack. But if you want to go back to the external speakers, we just flip this switch right here, and it goes into mute because I have this on the internal muted right now. It's in internal. Say we want to go back to the other ones, we just flip the switch again. There we go. Works quite well. And this is pretty neat. It's pretty useful. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. It wouldn't take up much more space on your desk. It'd just be a little bit wider. And it also helps cool the system because it's got the notebook lifted upwards some. It's a pretty darn cool design idea. Very useful. And it just works, you know. And we could type with it. Like if I go over to Launchpad and use text edit, we could type something. New document. We can use the keyboard and just type away. And it works. And the only thing plugged into it is the dock itself. Pretty darn cool design. You know, they had some good merits there. It was a very, very cool design idea. And it's hard to believe that they weren't more popular. It's a pretty cool quality product. It's all made out of high quality metals and high quality plastics. The connectors are made out of plastics, these pieces here. But the underneath is a very strong, sturdy metal. Let's eject this right now. If I do this, reach in the back, you see the monitor kicked right off. It disconnected, and now it's in normal mode here, and it works. We put this off to the side. We'll quickly show you one more time the design of the dock. We'll wrap up the video. So yeah, it was a pretty cool design, you know, very sturdy, very good design here, and that's metal. That's cool. So yeah, I thought you guys would like that. That is definitely some weird Mac Oddware there. And we'll have more of them. I've got one coming for a 12-inch aluminum PowerBook, and one coming for my DVI 1 gigahertz PowerBook Titanium, which will be in the PowerPC series in a few upcoming videos from now. And you know, this is just a really cool thing. The company really had a lot going for it. But, you know, you have to design all this stuff. You have to make sure all the ports line up perfectly. And honestly, in today's world, it would probably be pretty good if they'd come back. Because, you know, people need ports. This supplied extra ports, as you saw. It turned that DVI-I into 2 ports, one VGA and one DVI-I. And I don't think it would split it, but that would be cool if it would. I'd have to try that out. I doubt it will. But, you know, it gave you extra ports. Those RCA jacks were pretty cool. And just imagine using that with USB-C MacBooks now. That would be very cool. And it'd be very easy to make, because they literally just have to put 2 USB-Cs on both sides or whatever. I don't know how the new MacBooks really look. I haven't seen one in person in a while. But, you know, it'd be really cool. Then you could have all your ports in a dock and still actually be able to use the system like a normal older Mac with ports, which would be nice. I still hate Apple for just going to USB-C. You don't see me using one of those systems. But anyway, so yeah, I think that basically wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is some good Mac Oddware, and part 2 will be coming in the PowerPC series when those come in the mail. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget that I am now sponsored by SellYourMac.com. So if you go to SellYourMac.com/RutKMods right down here and sell something, it would help me out because it'd give me a small little kickback. It would help you out because you'd be making some money, which is pretty nice. Also, don't forget that if you'd like to support me, I do now have a Patreon. I'll have a link at the end of the video and also in the description. And that's the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a BookEndz video.